I was born in Spokane, Washington. Parents moved us down right away to Bay Area, California. Was there for 9 or 10 years. Parents got divorced. Mom moved us back up to Spokane so she can be closer to her family. I graduated from North Central High School in Spokane, and right after that, I joined the Marine Corps.
Finishing a 4-year commitment in the Marine Corps, Carter chose to return to civilian life. A few years later, after a divorce and with a young daughter to support, he decided to rejoin the service.
Civilian work was sporadic, so I ended up joining the Army. I was like, okay, maybe this is where I'm supposed to be. And then we deployed. We went to Afghanistan. Now, I've never seen Combat Outpost Keating before. I only heard about it. I heard that it was pretty much a death trap kind of a thing. You're looking up at the mountains, and everything is dominating. There's no real protection except for the concrete buildings that we're sleeping in. That's it. And then, of course, you know, within a few days, firefight kicks off. It's usually in the morning. Most of the time, it's just pop shots, but they're still shooting at you. And that's how it went for the next 2.5 months until October 3rd. It kind of started normal. I'm just getting out of bed, and I hear one of the sergeants yelling, "Hey, we need somebody to man LRAS 2." There was an up-armored Humvee with a 50 caliber machine gun and the LRAS optics sight. I was like, "I got it, Sergeant. I'll go take care of it." And then as soon as I get to the door, a couple of bullets hit the wood frame of the door, spitting wood pieces in my face. I was like, whoa, and I took a step back. And I was thinking, man, if I'm gonna do this, I gotta hit this at a running start. So I'm running. Bullet splashes all around. This is more than I've ever experienced before. I get to the battle position. I get to LRAS 2. Mace comes around the corner of the vehicle, and I see a look on his face that kind of puts a cold chill through my spine. It was a look of sheer terror and determination. And that's when I knew, without any words exchanged, that everything that we had dreaded was happening right now.
Under intense enemy fire, Staff Sergeant Carter charged across the open battlefield to secure critical ammunition from the ammo supply point.
I've got 3 or 4 belts of 240 ammo on my arm, but this wasn't a straight shot anymore. The incoming fire had increased. A few deep breaths, sprint. I get to LRAS 2. And Gallegos is on the radio, vehicle's shaking, can't really hear what's going on. Gallegos looks at us again and kind of that worried whatever look and just says, okay, we're gonna exfil. So it's like a football, ready, break, and we all got out. And as soon as I got out, I got in between the sandbags and the corner of the vehicle, everything turns yellow and black. Between 2 and 4 rocket-propelled grenades landed in between us. I see Gallegos coming back around, and then he gets struck in the leg, spins him around, and he just stands there and starts firing. Bullet impacts all around him, and then they walk up his chest, and then he goes down. Sergeant Larson yells, "Get back in the truck." So, get back in the truck. I see movement down by Gallegos. It's actually Mace. He's on his elbows, and he's dragging his legs. That's when I say Sergeant Larson, it's like, hey, Mace is still alive. I'm gonna go get him. And he's like, no, you're not. It's like, he's injured, I can help him out. And we have a little argument there, and he pretty much says, you're no good to him, dead. Open up the window, yell, Mace, Mace, get back behind the rock, you got cover there. Now he looks up and he's smiling. He's like, oh my gosh, there's actually somebody alive. I'm gonna be okay. But I'm telling him to get back behind the rock, and he's like, help me. And I says, I'll get to you when I can, but you need to get back behind the rock. He looks up at me again and he begs me. He says, help me, please. And I have to tell him no. And that's one of the things that I still see at night sometimes. So I gave him my word, I'll get to you when I can.
Carter heard a horn blaring from just behind LRAS 2. Thinking it might be a distress call, he rushed to the vehicle to help. Finding no one, he did find ammo to replenish their drastically depleted supplies.
With fresh ammo, still no communications, and the fact that I was able to check the vehicle. I asked Sergeant Larson, can I please go get Mace? He says, okay, I got you. He got his rifle ready, I got my rifle ready. He opens a window and he's scanning, and then I run down to Mace. Mace, he's still alive, and Mace starts moving, and so I roll him over. I look, and it's pretty much just soaked from the ribs down, just blood. Instantly, you know, you treat the worst wound first. So I put a tourniquet on his leg and just lifted him up and then carried him to the vehicle. I told Sergeant Larson, it's like, he doesn't have a lot of time. We have to get out of here now.
Making one last foray from the Humvee, Carter recovered Gallegos' radio. He made contact with his fellow soldiers, and together they planned a barrage of covering fire. With Mace on a stretcher, Carter and Larson dashed one last time through massive fire to the aid station.
We get to the aid station, gave the medic a report how long the tourniquet had been on there, what's going on, this, and that, and they erased my name off of the missing in action list. I manned the sniper position until the sun went down and the reinforcements arrived. I wish I could have saved all of them. I just wanted to save at least one. That night, we found out that he died on the operating table. When I heard that, I thought I was a failure, that my entire life was a failure. My issues grew over time. I believed that I was so much of a failure that nobody would want to talk to me, so I avoided people. I'd volunteer for every mission because if you're on a mission, then you're not focused on how much you failed. And then the memorial came, where the entire unit would recognize all of its fallen. And that's when the families would show up. Mace's mom comes around, and the first thing I can do is like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. You know, if I would have disobeyed orders, I could have got to him sooner. You know, if I would have done this, I should have done this, shoulda, coulda, woulda. She had a big grin on her face and tears in her eyes, gave me a big hug. She says, I know you didn't save his life, but what you did was just as good. And I was like, okay, what's that? I don't understand. She says, because of what you and Sergeant Larson did, he didn't die alone in the dirt. Because of your actions, he was conscious when he received his last rites. Because of all that, he was able to survive long enough to joke with his friends. He believed he was going home.
I will ask you, Ty, to never forget the difference that you made on that day. Because you helped turn back that attack, soldiers are alive today. Now, Ty says, this award is not mine alone. The soldiers of Cop Keating, please stand. Ty has spoken openly, with honesty and extraordinary eloquence, about his struggle with post-traumatic stress. So let me say it as clearly as I can to any of our troops or veterans who are watching and struggling. If Ty can find the courage and the strength to not only seek help, but also to speak out about it, to take care of himself and to stay strong, then so can you.